Look at this car. It defies every logical rule of automotive design. It is a razor-sharp wedge of pure audacity, an artifact from a future that never arrived, built not for comfort, luxury, or even the road, but for a single brutal purpose: absolute conquest on the dirt, snow, and gravel stages of the World Rally Championship. This is the Lancia Stratos, and its history is so bizarre, so infused with rebellion, corporate espionage, and motorsport genius, that it reads like a thriller, truly fitting for anyone searching for a Lancia Stratos documentary or hoping to understand why many still consider it one of the best rally cars of all time. It is arguably the most radical, purpose-built vehicle ever unleashed on the public, a machine that changed rally racing forever. Yet, for a new generation of enthusiasts, the legend of the Stratos remains a whispered secret, a spectacular dream that was tragically and intentionally cut short. This is the story of a car that was impossible to build, impossible to drive, and ultimately impossible to kill. A story often mentioned by fans curious about why the Lancia Stratos was banned, or wondering how Fiat killed the Stratos despite its unmatched dominance. The Stratos began not as a boardroom project, but as an ambush. In 1970, the renowned Italian design house Bertone, specifically the visionary Marcello Gandini, was tired of waiting for Lancia to greenlight a revolutionary concept. So, he took matters into his own hands. Gandini drove his non-running, two-dimensional Lancia Stratos Zero concept right up to the front gates of Lancia's factory in Turin and dared them to ignore it. The Zero was a shock to the senses. A mere 33 inches tall, accessed via a hinged windshield, looking for all the world like a stealth fighter on four wheels. Lancia's executives, struck by its breathtaking audacity, realized they were looking at the future of motorsport. From that spectacle, the Stratos HF was born, a beautiful compromise of engineering and necessity. To power their radical idea, Lancia had to turn to their fierce rivals at Ferrari, eventually securing the high-revving 2.4-liter Ferrari Dino V6 engine, the heart of the legendary Dino. This incredible engine was then mounted transversely, directly behind the driver, bolted into a lightweight, stiff chassis with a ludicrously short wheelbase. Every single dimension of the Stratos was a deliberate betrayal of traditional road car wisdom, a sacrifice made at the altar of cornering grip. It made the Stratos a twitchy, unforgiving terror on the street, but transformed it into a devastating, agile weapon on the world's most challenging tracks. For anyone diving deep into Lancia Stratos history, this singular design philosophy is what makes the car not just iconic, but mythic. A true homologation special unlike anything before it. Its sudden, violent rotation, explosive power band, and fighter jet cockpit made it feel almost alien. Drivers who mastered it described the Stratos as alive, as if the car possessed a temperamental spirit forged from equal parts beauty and rage. This mix of danger and brilliance helped cement the car's place among World Rally Championship legends. When the Stratos finally achieved its required homologation, the mandated number of street cars built to qualify it for Group 4 racing, it didn't just compete, it annihilated the competition. It wasn't just fast, it was in a different league entirely. The Stratos was the first machine purpose-built from the ground up to win the World Rally Championship, while every other manufacturer was still modifying their road-going coupes and sedans. The sheer physical aggression of the Stratos allowed drivers like the great Sandro Munari to exploit its advantages, transforming the car into a blur of raw power and pinpoint precision. During the Sandro Munari Stratos era, the combination of his driving mastery and the Stratos' radical layout created an unstoppable force in the racing world. It was on the Monte Carlo stages, the grueling spectacle of the European winter, where the Stratos forged its immortal reputation. It was a beast of a machine that demanded every ounce of skill from its driver, rewarding mastery with a dominance never before seen. The result was a stunning hat trick. The Stratos secured 3 consecutive WRC Constructors' Championships from 1974 through 1976. This period wasn't just a streak of victories, it was the birth of the modern rally car, a blueprint for the Group B monsters that would follow, all thanks to this single beautiful wedge-shaped Italian. Many motorsport historians describe it as the defining Group 4 rally car, the machine that set the stage for everything that came after. Anyone studying the evolution of the sport inevitably encounters the Stratos as the fork in the road, the moment rallying left the era of modified road cars and embraced purebred racing machines. The inevitable end of the Stratos came from the most mundane place imaginable, a ledger book. By the mid-1970s, Lancia's parent company was now Fiat, who also controlled Ferrari. Fiat had its own plans for global motorsport promotion, and they wanted to champion their own, more commercially viable road car, the Fiat 131 Abarth. The Stratos, the undeniable champion, was simply too successful, consuming attention and resources that Fiat wanted redirected toward their new favorite. To many fans, this political maneuver remains one of the most infamous examples of Fiat versus Lancia motorsport politics. The unthinkable happened. The order came down from the corporate suites to systematically starve the Stratos program of factory support and funding. It was a cruel irony. The most dominant car in the world was retired not because it failed to win, but because its winning was inconvenient. The Stratos was decommissioned by a pencil, not by an engine failure. To enthusiasts who study why the Lancia Stratos was banned, this decision stands as a heartbreaking reminder of how corporate agendas can overshadow pure engineering brilliance. Privateer teams managed to keep the car's spirit alive for a few more years, fielding Stratos entries in smaller events and isolated rallies, but its official, thunderous reign was over. The story almost reads like a rally car conspiracy, a masterpiece killed not by competition, but by strategy. Today, the Stratos stands as a monument to uncompromising automotive design. It is highly valued not just for its scarcity, but for the story of its struggle, the ultimate champion that was deemed too pure, too perfect, and too expensive for the commercial realities of the world. Collectors view it as something beyond a car, a rebellious artifact of motorsport ingenuity. Modern enthusiasts who discover the Stratos through LanciaStratos history deep dives or World Rally Championship documentary videos are often stunned by how futuristic and purposeful it remains even 50 years later. The Lancia Stratos remains a powerful reminder of what happens when passion triumphs over profit, even if only for a short time. Its wedge-shaped shadow is cast long over every performance car and rally car built since. A brutal, beautiful echo of an era where engineers and designers were allowed to chase the impossible dream. It was brilliant, terrifying, and utterly uncompromising. That era of pure, unfiltered mechanical madness is gone, but the Stratos will forever be the definition of a rally legend. Modern manufacturers still reference its proportions, its boldness, and its purity when designing halo cars. Even the recently revived new Stratos project shows how timeless the original formula remains. If this forgotten story captivated you, please hit the like button and subscribe to Motor Milestone for more automotive deep dives. And now, I want to hear from you. Given the corporate drama, was the Fiat 131 Abarth a worthy successor to the Stratos? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're thinking about it, consider this. If Fiat hadn't intervened, if they hadn't redirected Lancia's momentum, how many more years could the Stratos have dominated? Would Group B have started sooner? Would the entire landscape of rallying look different today? These are questions that keep historians, engineers, and fans debating endlessly, adding even more mystique to the legend of the most radical rally machine ever built.